It's the Rob Carson Show. Are you ready to be pod-smacked? Now, here's Rob Carson.
And here I am, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Episode number 184 of the Carson Show podcast. Well, I'm trying to adjust my monitor here so I can look incredibly sexy like I do. We do, of course, the video and audio podcast. Podcast Radio Network is where you hear it every single day at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And, of course, Liberty One TV is where you see it every day at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. Welcome to the show, guys. It is Tuesday. It has been a very, very busy day for me. I am actually in Phoenix at KFYI today. Kind of cool. Doing KFYI in Phoenix today from, again, I'm trying to get my camera figured out here. From my time, it's 6 to 9. So very cool. Very cool to be on the station. How are you? How have you been? I got some good news with regard to the show on Liberty One TV. Well, about 20,000 people watching. Oh, my gosh. I know. I want to say thank you. Thank you for that. There are a lot of things you can watch. There are a lot of things you can hear. You chose to watch me and hear me, and it means a lot to me. Also, the show is doing very well on the Podcast Radio Network, so you guys are awesome. Thank you. Do appreciate it. The show is about opinion. The show is about content, informing people, and there's much to talk about today. NFL boycott. Harvey Weinstein. What is the deal? Why are Jewish people always the agents? I've had 2 Jewish agents in my life. Why did the Jewish people, they're always the agents? Very rarely are they, well, I wouldn't say that. But like Woody Allen, he's Jewish, okay, right? And he's a performer, but the agents are always Jewish. I've had 2 Jewish agents. One of them is Norm Schrett. The other one was Robert Eatman, who just passed. And I don't know, what is it about Jewish people? They're you don't see them as hockey players very often. I know that. You don't see a lot of Rosensteins, playing for hockey teams. But by gosh, they're good agents. So we're going to get to that very shortly on the show. And I have nothing against Jewish people. It's funny. I have had 2 Jewish agents. Thank God they didn't sexually harass me. The NFL owners are going to consider a rule change that would require players to stand for the national anthem. Well, I thought that was already part of the NFL playbook, and I could be wrong, but I read a couple of weeks ago, you're supposed to already stand during the national anthem. It's part of the deal. The NBA does it. Guys. The owners of the NFL are reportedly considering a rule change that would make it mandatory for players to stand during the national anthem. If you want to stand or kneel or you whatever, then your ass is fired. Because this is getting expensive for the NFL. In recent seasons, primarily black football players have knelt during the national anthem because there's a lie going out there about the police attacking black men. It's a load of crap. Started with Colin Kaepernick, but the NFL is saying, okay, we need to do something about this. There are a million ways to express yourself. There are a million ways to get the message across that you think that black people are being brutalized, okay? Kneeling while the national anthem is playing, considering the NFL, by the way, the NFL has celebrated the national anthem for a very long time. Remember Whitney Houston? Anybody? Hello? Whitney Houston? Black woman? Hello? Black woman singing the national anthem. Brought us all to tears. Now the NFL is going to say, you can kneel during the national anthem after the flyovers, after paying the military for all of the things that, that they've done before the game. Yeah, probably a good idea to, and by the way, and I'm going to say this again, pardon me, NFL players do not have the right to kneel. They do not have the right to sit during the national anthem. They have the ability. Okay? I'm going to say it one more time. If you work at Walmart, you wear the blue vest. Okay? If you don't wear the blue vest, you're fired. You're fired. You're fired. That's the way it is. You do not have free speech at work. It just doesn't happen. So, end of discussion, right? We'll see what happens. If you continue to raise your fist and do all that stuff, fine, do it. You're going to get fired. You're going to get fired. Harvey Weinstein. I don't know why this is a big story, because most people don't know who the hell Harvey Weinstein is. He's an agent. And he's kind of I guess, the ultimate example of the casting couch. And you laugh about the casting couch. But if you're a woman in Hollywood, you're going to put out. There's a good chance you're going to have to put out to make it anywhere. And it sucks, and it's awful. And the thing that I'm just marveling at with Hollywood is so forward-thinking. But with regard to this, I mean, we've seen Donna Karan, fashion designer, defending and now rescinding her support of Harvey Weinstein. You've seen Matt Damon. There was a report in 2004. Harvey Weinstein is ready to come out in the New York Times that he's a sexual predator. And Matt Damon helped shoot that down. Hollywood is so great about telling us how to live our lives. They're so good about, you should drive a hybrid. And you should not use light bulbs unless they're poisonous. And you should fly coach. Leo DiCaprio is so funny. Leo DiCaprio, he shows up to events driving a Prius, right? But he goes and he parties on yachts that burn fossil fuels like no one would ever believe. This is Hollywood. They live like liberals in Washington, D.C. You drive a crappy little car that's dangerous, and I will ride in a motorcade. You fly in coach, and I fly in a private jet. With Harvey Weinstein, you've got Hollywood saying, oh, we're so supportive of women and this and women and that, and we are equality bound and blah, 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 blah. And yet they let this crap happen behind the scenes. They let this happen behind the scenes, raping of women. I heard 3 people came out today saying that Harvey Weinstein raped them. He masturbated in front of them. Hillary Clinton got a lot of money from him, by the way. She got a lot of money. And why shouldn't she? Her husband did the same crap. That said, let's do a little satire about Harvey, shall we? I think we should have a little Frank Sinatra singing about Harvey right here on my show.
The days of Weinstein's over. Harvey got a pass for playing grab ass. 'Cause the media protects this filthy rat. 'Cause he's a Democrat.
Oh, yeah, he is. Big time.
He's one of their fat cats.
Oh, yeah.
The late night guys avoid it. Harvey they won't touch. They love him so much. Jimmy Kimmel's sad. He don't know what to do.
And he cries all, it's just sad.
'Cause the days of Harvey Weinstein are through. Okay, guys, big finish now. Let's give it to old Harvey one last time.
Come on.
The late night, those creeps avoid it. Donald Trump they'll bash. But Harvey gives them cash. Colbert showed up on his colonoscopy. Now the days of Weinstein are history.
That is done by a friend of mine named Jim Gossett, who is a brilliant satirist. And he threw that together for me. And he's awesome. It is remarkable when you consider how Hollywood likes to preach at you and me for all of these things. All of these things. And then, you have some people in Hollywood saying that they didn't know anything about this. Everybody knew about this. All right? Everybody knew that Harvey Weinstein, whatever the hell, was a creep. Everybody knew that he was a creep. But so many, listen, there are people who can wreck your career. Okay? There are people in the business who can wreck your career. I've been there. Trust me, I know this. And not that I was sexually harassed, but I have, there are people you don't want to piss off. I've got one person right now in my life who I apparently have pissed off, and it's causing me a good deal of grief. There are people who can ruin your career, particularly in the entertainment industry, because the jobs are so incredibly, incredibly rare. All right? Talk radio, rare. Okay? The jobs are rare. It's not like you're working construction, nothing against working construction. Been there, done that. I know. But when it comes to radio, one job a year opens in a market the size of Kansas City. One job a year opens in a market the size of Las Vegas. And it sucks. But a couple of bad words out there and you're done. Harvey Weinstein, he abused the privilege of being an agent. He ruined people. I wonder how many people he ruined on his way up. People who said, you know what, I'm not going to have sex with you. And he ruined. I bet you there are dozens of people who were left behind in the dust because this SOB was rejected. This fat tub of lard, POS, was rejected by them and didn't, play to his casting couch mentality. We'll never know about all of them, I'm sure. One of Harvey Weinstein's accusers was on Megyn Kelly's show. Her name is Lauren Sylvian. She's a TV reporter. Here she is talking about this creep.
He cornered me and leaned in and tried to kiss me, which I immediately rebuffed and said, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Sounds a little like Bill Clinton, doesn't it? Right? A little bit like Bill Clinton and what he did, Hillary Clinton.
I'm sorry, I have a very serious boyfriend and I'm not interested.
Unreal.
And I thought it would end there. Mm-hmm. But that's when he blocked the entrance or exit for me and said, well, then just stand there and be quiet. And he immediately exposed himself and, began pleasuring himself. And I just stood there dumbfounded. I was so shocked. I could not believe what I was witnessing. It was disgusting, but more than the disgusting act itself, the demeaning part of it all. He finished and I said, can I go now? I was pretty annoyed at that point. And he said, yes, let's go.
I don't even know where to start. Who does that? Who does that? What a sick man. And the worst thing about him is that he got away with it. He got away with it. When you get to that point, I'm assuming you have gotten away with this for many times. This is a modus operandi. This is something you've been able to do forever. And this obviously is the late stages of perversity. Unreal. But he's a power broker. If you've got somebody who you're working at Wendy's, and the Wendy's wants you to be a cashier, the Wendy's manager, I don't think he's going to be able to do this, right? you know? I could be wrong. He's a power broker. He's a power broker. What does that mean? Power broker means he has power over people. And that's what he did. I can't even imagine those who've been victimized by this son of a gun. I can say it, but I'm not going to. Kathy Lee Gifford said that a different producer once did the same thing in front of her.
I've been in this business forever, and early on in my career out in Los Angeles, a producer called me. I knew who he was, and he said, "I just saw you on something. I think you're going to have a big career. I'd like to meet with you and talk about, managing you." I was like excited,
Sure.
And I went, okay. I said, I'll come to your office. He said, well, that's under construction. I'm working from home right now. So would you mind coming to my house? I had no reason to think not. I didn't know the man personally. Right. I just knew of him. I get to the house and the exact same thing happened to me. Exact same thing. And I learned from that boy. I felt grateful I got out of there without being raped. Yeah. That's what you feel like. It's all right. It was just that. I can live through that. But you're so demeaned. You feel so dirty. You feel more than anything, you know what you feel? Stupid. I just thought, Kathy, you idiot. Never go to somebody's house. Now it can happen in somebody's office too, but I think I must have been 21 years old.
You're trapped. At that stage in your life, you're trapped. When somebody exercises sexual power over you, you are trapped. You have no choice. She obviously was able to get out of that and have a career. And I think that's great. But there was a lot of stuff, man. There was a lot of stuff out there. A lot of this stuff happens. No, I'm not going to. I had something like this happen to me when I was in college, but I'm not going to get into it. A male teacher tried this crap on me. And I just had to be polite and back out of the room. I know that sounds weird coming from a dude, but I had something like this happen to me. It was ugly. It was ugly. There are a million ways that people can exercise power over you. One of the ways is to use their power for their pleasure. And it happens all the time. Harvey Weinstein, F you. Goodbye. P-O-S. P-O-S. Texas senior high school student filed a lawsuit against her school after she was suspended for sitting during the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't know why this is even a story. India Landry, the name of the kid. She decided to sit during the pledge. Here's the story of a man named Brady. No, here's the story of why she sat down and her mom's defense of her.
This is annotating an article.
It's her English homework that she finished Monday night. She was early. It wasn't due until Wednesday.
So basically taking notes on an article to answer questions to it.
But now it's late.
And then the pledge came on and they both stood. And then I didn't. And she asked me to and I said I wouldn't. And she said, well, you're kicked out of here.
Asked me? Did she hit you with an axe? I'm sorry.
India Landry is a senior at Winford High School. On Monday, she was sent home after the Pledge of Allegiance.
I've never been to a school where I was called to come get my child and no one would talk to me about what's going on.
Where's Dad? This is wondering where Dad is.
Her mother, Kizzy, says later the principal finally did talk to her.
I would love for my daughter to be able to exercise her rights as well.
Kizzy recorded what the principal told her.
Telling me that she can't come to my school if she won't stand for the pledge.
It's something India has done for as long as she can remember.
I don't.
Because Mom said it's okay to do it.
Think that the flag is what it says it's for liberty and for justice.
Then go live somewhere else.
Justice and all that. It's not obviously what's going on in America.
Really, what's going on in America, girl? What? Seriously, what's going on in America? It's so bad.
Today,
it's never been a problem until now.
They were making rude comments saying this isn't the NFL. You won't do this here.
Mom says they've tried to work it out, but then the district began citing India's grades and absences.
All of us.
Whoa. She's not going to school. And her grades are bad. Mom's not making her go to school. It might be a problem.
Let me have all these issues with my child, but I'm like, if it was like this, you would have addressed this a long time ago.
Months away from graduating.
You know, Mom, honestly, really, now it's an issue. Now suddenly the school is to blame because you're a failure.
India says she may only have two options, stand or get her diploma. She knows her decision.
I wouldn't stand because it goes against everything I believe in.
Really, what do you believe in as a 16-year-old? What, honestly, I mean, really? I know you don't believe in the tooth fairy anymore. I get that. You don't live in Santa Claus anymore. You're 16 years old. But really, what goes against everything you believe in? Thank you, Mom. Bravo. You did a good job. Did a really good job indoctrinating your child. Did a really good job making your child feel spoiled and entitled. Did a really good job hating America. Even though you failed completely as a parent. Where's Dad, first of all? Second of all, why is your kid not in school? Third of all, why is your kid's grades suck? Mom. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. State of California. I am so glad I don't live in California. Apparently, Governor of California, Jerry Brown, Jesus, God in heaven, I am so glad I don't live in California. He says that California healthcare workers who willfully and repeatedly decline to use a senior transgender patient's preferred names or pronouns could face punishment ranging from fine to jail time if you don't use the right gender pronoun. Now, there's a host of gender pronouns, right? I'm a cisgendered male. Hold on. 1 second. Looks like a male. Been married 20 years. I use it a lot, so it's hard to say. So a new bill has been signed into law. The sponsor, Democrat State Senator Scott Wiener. I said Wiener. Wiener, you get it? Okay. Has argued adamantly that nobody is going to be criminally prosecuted for using the wrong pronoun. Says it's just more scare tactics by people who oppose the LGBT civil rights and protections. He's the sponsor of the bill. Why would he say that? The bill itself is aimed at protecting transgender and other LGBTQ RSTU individuals in hospitals, retirement homes, and assisted living facilities. The bill would ensure those facilities accommodate transgender people and their needs, blah, 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 including letting them decide which gender-specific bathroom they use. I mean, honestly, wow, of all the things. Been to a nursing home lately? Is this a big deal? We're talking about my mom going to one. She's a girl. It shall be unlawful for a long-term care facility and facility staff to take any of the following actions wholly or partially on the basis of a person's actual or perceived sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, or human immunodeficiency virus, HIV. Where the hell did that come from? So anyway, you can't call grandma, grandpa. You can't call grandpa, grandma. I don't know what the hell. This is important. This is important. Yeah. California is an ungodly debt. People are moving out of California wholesale because it's so effing expensive to live there because the taxes are so high. And you're going to get thrown in jail for calling grandma, grandpa. Okay. Whatever. Meanwhile, knowingly transmitting HIV to a partner will be lowered to from a felony to a misdemeanor. So if you knowingly give someone HIV, instead of facing up to 8 years in prison, anyone convicted of knowingly transmitting HIV will serve a maximum of 6 months behind bars. The change is welcomed by the LGBTQRSTUV community as a step forward in the destigmatization of HIV, but opponents are concerned that the reduced sentence will increase high-risk behavior and spread the disease. I'd be really pissed if somebody gave me AIDS or HIV. Intentionally affecting a partner with HIV will now be considered a misdemeanor, not a felony in California, punishable by 6 months in prison. The bill, SB 239, which should be SD, STD 239. Written by Scott Wiener and Assembly Todd Gloria, okay, said that the passage represents a major step forward, treating HIV as a public health issue instead of treating people with HIV as criminals. If you had sex with somebody and they gave you cancer, would that, honestly, they knowingly gave you cancer? HIV is not stoppable. Okay, once you have HIV, you have HIV, right? I don't have HIV. I don't have to take any medicine. It's cool, you know. But if somebody gave you HIV, aren't you going to have to live the rest of your life with HIV? Aren't you going to have to tell potential partners you have HIV? Why is that a misdemeanor? Why is that a speeding ticket? California is so messed up. I mean, California is so freaking messed up. Jameel Hill, suspended from ESPN. She called Donald Trump a white supremacist. This is a despicable, just an awful woman. This is from ESPN. She's been suspended for 2 weeks for a second violation of our social media guidelines. She previously acknowledged letting her colleagues and company down with an impulsive tweet. In the aftermath, all employees are reminded of how individual tweets may reflect negatively on ESPN and that such actions would have consequences, hence the decision. You know what? I freaking hate sports television. I hate sports talk radio. It's awful. It's people who are so wound up in I'm sure that they feel the same way about political talk. But honestly, shut your pie hole and talk about statistics. Jameel Hill, shut your mouth. Why is ESPN a political tool? I don't know. This is why Keith Olbermann is not with them anymore. Because he couldn't keep his big yap shut and just talk about what you're doing. It's like late night television. Jimmy Kimmel going political. Shut STFU. Okay? I don't care about your politics. If you want to do politics outside, it'd be like, okay, Cartoon Network, SpongeBob talking about gun control. All right? Yeah, that's about how much credence I give Jameel Hill and her opinion. Shut up. If you want to opine about politics, go do it somewhere else. I hope she gets fired. I really do. What a despicable human being. A despicable human being. A firefighter has been fired. Firefighter. See what I did there? Yeah. Detroit firefighter lost his job because apparently you're supposed to bring a gift when you are a new firefighter, and he was being he's being hired at a fire station that's 90% black, and he decided that a watermelon would be a good gift. Here's the story.
Last Monday, 41-year-old Robert Pattison went to introduce himself to his fellow firefighters at Engine 55 at Joy and Southfield in Detroit. 2nd Battalion Chief Sean McCarty calls it a tradition for firefighters.
It's not mandatory, it's voluntary.
He's a black guy.
You come in, you bearing
this
gifts.
Guy.
You might bring some. The usual gift is donuts. Okay.
Donuts.
But you're allowed to bring in whatever you want to bring in.
And Pattison, a probationary firefighter, decided to bring this watermelon with a pink ribbon on top. We're told some African-American firefighters were instantly offended, since 90% of the people who work at Engine 55 are black.
When you get your first detail to a firehouse, you know pretty much what you're getting yourself into. So I would have to say, it was probably a bad call.
Is it racially insensitive to bring a watermelon into a firehouse?
To some people.
I spoke to Patterson by phone, who claims it was not a joke.
I don't know if it's racially insensitive, but man, really stupid.
And he did not mean to offend his fellow firefighters. But he clearly did.
Yes.
Fire Commissioner Eric Jones says the Fenton native was officially discharged. In a statement, Jones says there is zero tolerance for discriminatory behavior inside the Detroit Fire Department. On Saturday, September 30th, at Engine 55, a trial firefighter engaged in unsatisfactory work behavior, which was deemed offensive and racially insensitive to members of the Detroit Fire.
Why would you do this? I mean, and I don't think the guy did it on purpose. I don't, because you're going to have to work there. You're going to the fire station you're going to work at. Yeah, well, you're supposed to bring a gift. Here, how about a bucket of chicken and some watermelon? I mean, who the hell does that? You wouldn't do it intentionally. You'll get your ass kicked.
Fire Department. After a thorough investigation, it was determined that the best course of action was to terminate the employment of this probationary employee.
Why would you say that? Honestly, and am I wrong? Because I'm 50, right? And I guess I kind of... The whole stigmatization and the stereotyping of black people with fried chicken and watermelon happened before I was born, all right? I like fried chicken, and I friggin' love watermelon. I love them both. I mean, give me a meal, fried chicken and watermelon. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah. I could eat watermelon every damn day. Fried chicken, come on. When I was a kid, my mother, every night we had fried chicken. Maybe he doesn't get it. Does he not? Maybe he doesn't. Do you ever think maybe give the guy the benefit of the doubt? Okay, I gave him watermelon. I like watermelon. I'm a white guy. And you could do donuts, but they get this great water. It was a big old watermelon, this big. Is it possible that maybe he didn't understand? Is it possible that maybe he didn't mean to destroy people and be racist? I don't know. My son is going to be 18 years old in about a month. He wouldn't know what the hell that's about. He wouldn't know it's watermelon with black people. His friends are black and white and yellow and all sorts of things. He wouldn't know that. He wouldn't know it's offensive to some people. And I think we've got these old stereotypes by an old guard of people who are willing to be offended. And I would assume maybe there's a cutoff line where people don't realize watermelon is offensive to black people. Fried chicken is collard greens, are they offensive to black people? You gave collard greens to black people? I mean, I don't know. Jay-Z music, if you gave Jay-Z music, is that I don't know. Yeah. Maybe these old stereotypes of the wide smiling black kid with the big old piece of watermelon, and I know this because it's history. It wasn't a part of my life when I was growing up. Maybe a generation doesn't understand it, and he didn't mean anything by it. He just gave him a damn watermelon. Everybody's offended by everything. Ugh. Everybody's offended by everything. I don't get it, guys. That's going to do it for my podcast today. This is Tuesday, October the 10th. I'm going to be on Liberty One TV tonight at 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. On also the Podcast Radio Network at 5 o'clock every day. That's where I am. And I'm also, by the way, if you are paying attention, from 6 to 9 p.m. going to be on KFYI in Phoenix. KFYI in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay? If you want to download my podcast, it is at iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Audio Boom, SoundCloud, Google Play, Google Plus, YouTube, all of those things. And also, if you have an Alexa, I have one behind me. I don't want to say her name too loud because she'll respond. If you have an ALEXA, just say, play the Rob Carson Show. And it'll play the latest episode, which would be this one. All right? In the meantime, guys, I want to say, God bless you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Have a glorious day, and we will see you again tomorrow.
Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson.
Bye, guys.
And on Instagram, I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now. We'll see you soon.